Oh, good morning. This morning we have a very special presentation for you, and during the next half hour we are going to all be transported back in time about 2,000 years. So it's very important that you get comfortable and sit up, and be sure you use the seat belts that have been installed in all the pews just for this morning. So buckle it up, put it around you, and make sure it's tightly buckled. You didn't get one? But they... What? Who didn't get the seat belt? You didn't get seat belt? You didn't get... Did you get seat belts in the balcony? No! There's no seat belts? There's no seat belts. They didn't get installed. No, I don't think any of them signed the waiver. Well, I've been told that the transportation back in time is there's no danger. I can say that with confidence, some confidence. There's some danger, not much danger. And anyway, let's just get on with it. Our presentation today is called A Matter of Time. It takes place in 3 scenes, and it all begins at the present time in a science laboratory in the United States.
To success!
To success!
And to the Nobel Prize.
No, come on now, don't jinx it.
Oh, come on, are you kidding? Look, this has got to be one of the greatest discoveries in the history of, well, in all of history.
Alan, come on now. You're getting carried away here.
Tom, you must know this. What you've achieved, it's something that mankind has been dreaming about since the beginning of time. And thanks to your research, we can now visit the beginning of time if we want to. You've done it. You have found the secret that allows us to travel backward through time.
Well, I guess it is pretty cool.
Cool! It's incredible! I mean, people have been imagining this for centuries, for millennia. The number of books that have been written about it. Just think of the authors. There's H.G. Wells, Mark Twain, Dickens, Kurt Vonnegut, Stephen King, and the movies.
Back to the Future.
Terminator, Time Bandits, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Great movie! Oh, it's fantastic. It's one of the best.
No doubt. All right, I guess when you think about it, it is pretty impressive. And it ended up being so simple.
Well, it really did. Obvious when you know how it works.
Anybody could have seen it.
But nobody did. You did.
Wow.
It takes a certain kind of genius to see something like that, something that turns out to have been under our noses all along. The key to time travel. It's like gravity, it seems obvious now, but it takes a mind like Isaac Newton's or Tom McMillan's to figure it out.
Well, now that we actually do have a working time machine, I thought it would be really fun to go back and show it to H.G. Wells.
Well, maybe you will.
Yeah.
In which case, maybe you already did. Maybe that's how we got the idea.
Huh. I only wish we could have solved the coexistence paradox.
Oh, you mean that you can't go back to a time where you already existed?
Yeah.
No, Tom, I don't think anyone's ever going to find a solution to that. Seems like it's just a basic law of the universe. You can't be in the same place or the same time more than once. Mm-hmm. So if you've ever lived at a particular point in time, you can't travel back to that point. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, what if you bumped into yourself on the street?
Could be awkward, yeah.
To say the least. So the universe just doesn't allow it. End of story.
But it's not so much that you can't relive your own life. I mean, I grew up in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Who wants to relive that? But what really galls me is that you can't go back to a point in history, any point in history that you've already been to.
Well, it makes sense. I I mean, if you time travel there, then you've existed there. You can never exist there again.
It just seems so limiting, that's all. I guess I'll just have to live with it.
Tom, don't lose sight of the big picture here. What you've achieved, it's nothing short of miraculous.
Well, yeah, but I didn't do it alone.
Oh, well, Tom, you know, it was an honor for me to be able to help you these last few years, but you know you would have made the discovery without me.
Well, I didn't mean you, actually. I mean, no. You helped, of course, Alan, and I don't think I could have done it without your help, but I actually was referring to someone else.
Oh, you mean God?
Yes, everything I do with his guidance.
Look, Tom, I've always respected your religious beliefs. You know that. They don't make any sense to me, but that's me. You know, you're entitled to your own beliefs, but I'm sorry, I just wish you would take credit for your own achievements once in a while.
Well,
I mean, you've been working on this for 20 years. You've dedicated your life to this project. And I'm sorry, but I think you are entitled to reap the benefits for all that hard work. What about when you get that Nobel Prize?
No.
It is going to happen, and you know it. Are you going to turn it down? Because you think you owe all your success to God? You've earned it, Tom.
Well, of course not. I would not turn it down. I would accept it gladly, but with the acknowledgement and the admission that it comes through the grace of God.
I guess that's the best I can hope for from you. I don't know. It just seems so silly, you know. Here we are. We're in the 21st century. We've cracked the code of genetics. We've proven the existence of subatomic particles. We've discovered quantum physics. And yet, educated people still go around spouting superstitious nonsense about an invisible spirit who floats above us, stroking his beard and casting spells or something.
You know, I think you're getting confused with Harry Potter. That sounds a little more like Dumbledore than God to me.
All right, okay. Well, you know what I mean.
Okay.
Tom, you know, you can believe what you want. I'm not going to argue with you about it anymore. It just seems incredible to me that a scientist, a future Nobel Prize-winning scientist, can believe in all those tall tales.
Well, you know, I guess it isn't always easy. I should admit something to you, Alan. There's another way in which my belief in God has helped me with my research, or I guess my failure to believe as strongly as I know I should.
How do you mean?
Well, it's like you said. I'm a Christian. You know what that means, right?
Oh, sure. Church on Sunday mornings, bake sales, potluck dinners, charity fundraisers, ice cream socials, yada, yada, yada.
Well, yes, but there's a little more to it than that. What it really boils down to is that I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe he existed. I believe he was the Son of God, that he died for our sins, and that on the third day he was raised from the dead. I do believe these things, Alan, but you know, sometimes I just wish I had proof. Proof. Well, it's like you said, I'm a scientist. My life is built around observation and making decisions based on those observations. And I don't know, I feel like if I could go back and see with my own eyes.
Well, isn't faith supposed to mean you don't need proof of these kind of things?
Yes. I probably shouldn't need that. But there's always been that little nugget of doubt in the back of my mind. And I don't know if I could just go back.
And that's what you've been working toward all these years. You want to go back in time and witness the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
That's always been my dream, yes.
When are you going?
No time like the present.
All right. I'm coming with you.
You want to come? What? Why?
Well, you said yourself you're a scientist. It means you're supposed to be an unbiased observer of the facts. I'm sorry, I don't think that's quite the case. Okay. You know, you want more than anything to believe that this really happened. That means You need me there to make sure you don't succumb to wishful thinking.
Okay, but you're not exactly an unbiased observer yourself.
Guilty as charged, but maybe your bias one way and mine the other will cancel each other out.
You know, that makes sense. Like, you know, for all our disagreements, you're my best friend, Alan, and I'm glad you're coming with me.
Me too.
Okay?
Who gets to drive?
Me, obviously. It's my pilgrimage.
Well, okay, but I call shotgun.
Well, hello again. Our friends Tom and Alan have been gone for quite some time, and now I'm afraid our time has come. I mean, it's time to go back in time and join them in just about 35 seconds. I have no idea how this is going to go, but take a deep breath. That's good, and get comfortable. I worry about this. Okay, now we have, if your stomach feels a little queasy, don't hesitate to use the little white bags that have been put in the pews in front. There's no bags. We got them inexpensive. They say, American Airlines, you don't have a bag. There's no bags, and there's no seat belts, and it's time to go. Okay, hang on to something. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, it didn't work. I knew it. It wasn't going to work. And what happened? We're there. We're there. All that work, I'm sorry about the false alarm. All that work, all that worry, it's just like life. And here we are in Jerusalem. Well, welcome to Jerusalem, about 33 AD.
Okay, looks like we just got to follow this goat path here for a while, and watch out for the goat droppings. And then if we just a little bit further from the sound of things, and then a slight left at the juniper bush, and here we are. Well, that wasn't so bad, now was it? I mean, you know, I know we got lost for a little while there, but it wasn't my fault. I did Google it before we set off. But it's hard to work from a Google map when most of the landmarks won't be built for 1,000 years. I still say that donkey track we passed an hour ago corresponds to Highway 436 there, which means if we'd just taken the right where I'd suggested, then by now we'd be completely lost. Still, no harm done, eh? Lucky for us, we met that fellow who gave us the directions. Nice guy. What was his name? Joseph. Joseph of
Arimathea.
Whatever. What a lovely spot. It's unspoiled. Very peaceful. So where do you think the...
Right over there.
You mean where that big rock is over by the cliff wall?
Yep.
Yeah. And when exactly do you...
Any minute now.
Right. So we just wait then?
We just wait.
Fine. Lovely evening for it. We've actually been very lucky with the weather, you know. That shepherd we saw, he told me they've been having freak storms around here lately. The sky turned black in the middle of the day, apparently. What was all that about, do you think? I suppose we'll never know.
Suppose not.
So, Jerusalem, 33 AD. Nice place to visit. Not sure I'd want to live here. A little hot for my liking. Also, I think I'd missed the modern conveniences. You know, you saw what happened when I don't have my GPS. Completely helpless. Those Romans did a nice job with the plumbing, though, didn't they? I mean, you know, it's a shame about the subjugation of the Jewish people and all of that, but, you know, a working sewer system and running water is not something to be sneezed at. It's too bad it got messed up by those earthquakes. That guy Joseph told me they had them at the same time as the sky turning black thing. The running water stopped after that. Apparently, the guy in utilities told him that they would have current flowing again in 100% of the town by midnight. But here it is, it's almost 3 days later, and 65% of the homes still don't have service. I'm really glad we don't have that kind of problem back at home, Alan.
Alan!
What?
We're here. We're actually here. The spot, the exact time even, when Jesus rises from the grave, and we're here. We're here to see it.
Yeah, well, that remains to be seen. You know, I do have my doubts, as you know.
Any minute now, within the next couple of hours at least, I'll finally have the answer to a big question that's haunted me all my life. Hey, what's that noise?
Well, can you see what's going on?
I think it's bandits. They're robbing some poor woman. We have to help. Come on.
What do we?
Come on, Alan. Let's go.
Tom, you see the thing? Bandits, they're usually armed and dangerous. Are you really sure we want to get involved? I mean...
The bandits are gone, but she's badly hurt. We need to get her to a doctor. Come on, let's go.
We do? Well, but what about the...
Come on, Alan.
Okay. Tom, how do you say hospital in Aramaic? It is so good to be back. You know, it feels like I have dust or sand in every pore. I'm going to take such a long shower when I get home. Are you okay?
Yeah, I suppose so.
It was quite a trip today. I'm very glad I went along. Look, Tom, it's not the end of the world. Life goes on.
You're right, you know. It's just hard to take right now. I mean, all my life I've had that one dream, and now it's gone. My one chance to finally see what actually happened, and I just let it slip through my fingers.
Well, it wasn't your fault. You couldn't help what happened.
I know. I was still happy, you know. I was excited and I was happy, and I thought I would finally...
But you missed it.
Yeah.
And of course, you can never go back to that time again. I'm sorry, Tom.
It just would have meant so much to me, you know? To finally see him. To be there and to see him. To see God. And now I never will.
I saw God.
What?
I saw God tonight.
What are you talking about? You saw the same thing I did.
I'm not talking about at the tomb.
What are you talking about?
The way you ran to help that poor woman. She was hurt. She needed you, and you just ran to help her without ever looking back. You gave up your one chance to experience something you dreamed of your entire life because one woman, someone that you'd never even met before, needed your help.
Alan, what are you saying?
Well, don't you see? Look, Tom, it doesn't matter that you didn't see the resurrection. Okay, so now you won't know with certainty exactly what happened. So what? That puts you in exactly the same place as everyone else in the world. Look, you can believe what you want to believe. It's not important.
It's not. How can you say that?
I can say it because tonight I saw what is important. I saw God when I saw you give up your dream to help a fellow human being. That's what matters. The compassion that you showed tonight. I finally understood what it really means to love your neighbor. And after what you showed me, I'm not sure how I can continue to doubt that God is real.
You mean you believe?
Well, yeah, I think I really do. I believe.
I guess I really did see a miracle tonight.
I guess maybe you did. Oh, does this mean I have to start coming to church now?
Well, don't rush it. You've got plenty of time.
Yeah, I know. I kind of feel like maybe I should get started. It feels like I have a lot of catching up to do.
Okay, well, no pressure here, but would you like to come with me to church on Sunday? I could show you the ropes.
Well, sure, if you don't mind.
Great.
Oh, I don't have a robe. You wear robes at church, right?
They're not mandatory.
I have a bathrobe. Should I wear that? I mean, I just want to make sure I fit in as much as possible.
Let's just forget about the robe for now. You'll fit in just fine. It's fine.
Tom, I may not know very much about this, but I know you're a good Christian. The best kind. The details don't matter, so maybe you do have doubts once in a while. Your actions show how much you love God. And I'm sure that God knows it. I, on the other hand, have a long way to go. But it feels good. It feels like I'm coming home after a long journey or something.
And the father said, "Son, you are always with me, and all that I have is yours. But we must celebrate this brother of yours who was dead and has come back to life."
That's Bible stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see, this is what I'm talking about. I've got to get up to speed on all of this. Oh, I have so much work to do.
Alan, it's fine. You have all the time in the world.
And Tom and Alan worked together for many years. And, oh yes, Tom did win the Nobel Prize. And in his acceptance speech, he thanked both God and Alan. Well, Alan and Tom both went to church on Sunday, and Alan spent a lot of time in the Sunday school because he was trying to catch up with his religion. The kids loved him, except there were some complaints that he ate too many cookies at the coffee hour. Well, as for Tom, he did a lot of charity work, and he helped out in the hospitals, and he no longer felt insecure in his faith. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the story of Tom and Alan this morning, and I'm sure that if you're ever out on the road somewhere, anywhere, sometime, anytime, and you find a person, a soul that's in trouble, you will know what God wants you to do. So let's all say, Amen.